mornings.
Well, I know how far they don't want to move. They really don't want to cross the Dnieper River and march all the way to the border with Poland and Moldova and Romania. That is something they don't want to do. If they're compelled, they'll do it. In other words, if no one will talk to them, no one will negotiate, no one will do business, then obviously that's an option and it should not be dismissed. It's real. They would prefer to close up, I think, the territory certainly north of Zaporozhye to the Dnieper River. They want Kharkov, it's historically a Russian city, to be Russian again. Odessa, which was never Ukrainian, always Russian. They will want Odessa to be Russian again. And I do not think that they will back off of those territorial demands. Certainly not now. Now, if we're smart, we'll get on with business and cut the best deal that we can that allows Ukraine in some smaller form to exist. I just don't know if that'll happen or not. And if we don't talk, then again, the Russians will decide whether or not it's time to cross the river, march into Kiev, and then march west to Lvov. I don't think that's what they want to do. Remember, Kiev is practically analogous to Jerusalem when it comes to Western Christians and Jews. So I don't think they want to fight anybody in the streets of Kiev if they can avoid it. But they may conclude they can't.
Also, there's so much hatred towards the Russians in the west of Ukraine and Kiev as well that it will become like an Afghanistan for Russia if they want to occupy that city.
I don't think so. The Western Ukrainians, and by the way, I grew up with them in the United States and I know them very well, are incurably anti-communist. And unfortunately, the communist identity is confused with Russia. But even the ones that I grew up with had a view that the Russians were the victims as much of Stalin as they were. They had a different view of things, but I don't see that happening. Look, Putin is no fool. He's made speeches publicly in the past where he said, we understand Ukraine. We've lived with the Ukrainians for many years. We know the people in Western Ukraine want nothing to do with us. We want nothing to do with them. They'd probably be happier if they were confederated in some loose fashion with the Poles. Remember that Western Ukraine was under Polish-Lithuanian domination for centuries. And before it was under Polish-Lithuanian domination, after the Mongol conquest, it fell under the Duke of Lithuania. So the people in the West are different. Their language is different. Their culture is different. He knows that. Doesn't want anything to do with it. The last thing he wants to do is govern them.